All right, Kenman here. Today we have another one from the Anything Emerson Waved collection. As you can clearly see, what did we get into today? Let's check it out. Boom, here it is. If you are not aware, one of our subscribers, members, they all know Anything Emerson Waved sent me a few of his knives to kind of check out, review, share with all of you, and then send them back. Let's take a look at this one right here from Emerson Knives, MX 200. Look at this thing, dude. Drop. Flipper tab works real nice. Got that thumb disc for flicking out or thumbing out. Works really well. Of course, it has the Emerson Wave technology for taking it out of your pocket for that quick deploy. Yeah, this knife is cool. Let's check it out. The Emerson Knives MX 200. We have a fancy kind of layered G10 on the handle here. 154 cm on the blade with that kukri kind of forward canting recurve blade. Looks like it's got like almost like a Scandi grind, but then when you look, it is also a chisel grind. It's flat on this side and then it's carved out right there. Interesting stuff going on with this blade. I like that forward angle though. That's going to get in there doing some real good cuts, some raw cutting power. Not really a choke up spot right there, but your finger tucks in really nice into this spot. Got the thumb ramp, some jimps on there, a couple nice big old jimps. Feels really nice in my hand. Can kind of stretch my larger hand out. Almost pinky almost kind of sits here. A smaller hand would probably sit in there really well like that. My larger hand, I'm noticing this tip does start to kind of catch in my pinky. If it was a little bit longer, it would feel a little more comfortable and it would kind of feel a little bit more locked in versus here. Pinky almost starts to kind of want to come off, and so it's like the ring finger kind of gets locked into there. Excuse me. It doesn't feel too bad though, but whenever they make that kind of a size, it's going to fit certain hands better than others. Mine will get in there tight like this, but I feel like if it was just a little bit wider, I would like that more with my specific hand size. Index finger out on the tip for doing some draws with that big old belly just getting in there and just slicing away. Clip cannot be swapped to the other side. Pretty wide, large clip. This is a big knife, but that clip is wide. 3 screws hold her in. Can't be swapped to the other side. Not a very deep carry either. Look at this. You're going to have almost an inch of blade, or not blade, handle sticking out of your pocket when that's in there. Kind of prefer a little bit more of a deep carry. They could have put those holes down there. Figured out something different with that Edyard's lanyard hole right there for the lanyard people. Thumb disc on the top. It's a smaller disc, but it seems like you can get in there with your thumb easy. I can flick it out no problem at all. I'm sure in the pocket the Emerson Wave is going to work just fantastic. Nice flipper tab. A lot of fidgety action going on this knife, and it drops shut. You can see when I get it around there and just kind of drop it down, it just clicks in. Blade does have some mass to it, so that's definitely going to be helping in its movement, but it does have a nice action and feel to it. Definitely a big, wide, crazy kind of a shape here. Aggressive angles, almost, you could say. Blade is solid, no movement around there. Right about in the center where it needs to be. Detent is pretty solid at the end there. Boom, right at that end. It pulls in with some authority. Let's see if we can try to get it. Wow, to see that it flicked all the way out. That's a good detent. I'm trying to get it to talk. See if I can get it to slightly open. There we go. I caught it with my finger though. Catch it with your finger and then you can sit there and kind of talk it, but the detent is pretty solid, so I'm all right with that. Big old flipper tab on there. This thing is kind of a fun, fidgety factor. What do we think about the Emerson MX 200? So this design is pretty wild. Definitely that kukri kind of style on the blade. 154 cm, I like that. Interesting cut. I wonder how that is for sharpening, especially with this kind of Scandi slash chisel slash, what do we call this, recurve. Little cut out there for some more access for the lock bar. Nice little jimpy grips on that spot right there. I do like the jimps on the back of this. Fun stuff. Okay, full-size knife. Wow. 8 3/4 end to end. 4-inch blade if you go down to that edge there. 3 3/4 if you go up there. It's about a 3 3/4 inch blade with almost 3 3/4 inch curved, multi-curved cutting surface belly. 5 3/8 up there. And just under 5 down there, but basically over a 5-inch handle. That thing is big. 0.12 on that blade thickness. And the 1-2 carries all the way out to there. So you got a nice thick stock on this blade. That feels pretty sharp. 0.58 on that handle. Thickest spot in the middle, 111. Thickest on the blade up here, probably 1.13. And the never dying, never ending, slowly dying battery continues. Will it ever end? All signs point to no. 4.61. Compare everything with the Kaiser Drop Bear. What? OZT. What is that? What am I don't ever... now what have I done? I never changed this. What's OZT? I don't even know what that is. OZ. 5.06, 3.29. That 3.0, I was like, what is this? The Drop Bear doesn't weigh that. I must have just pushed. That was the very next one, yeah. OZT. Comment below if you know what that is. 5.05, 3.29. Yep, that's now we're in the right world here. Wow, it's changing a lot. Is this scale getting... It's a cheap one. It's a cheap one. All right. So not a bad weight size. This thing is a bigger one. It is a cutter. If you like Emerson Wave technology, you like Emerson knives, this is going to be one to check out. Here's that Kaiser Drop Bear. Great 3/4 in size. Not quite full size daily carry. Bug out killer. Inch shorter on the front and the back. So yeah, this Emerson is quite a large one. All right, can't be skipping the cut tests anymore. I skipped one with a serrated blade. Someone's said, yep, no, you got to do the cut test for every knife. So here we get this piece of paper out. We'll see what we... all right, it caught. I kind of went a little wild there. This is one of the sharper knives from Emerson Wave, or Anything Emerson Waved. Impressive. I'm going to give this one about a 7.5. Whoa. Well, now, it started off at a 7.5. What's going on? Did we lose it there? That's a sharp shot. Just got to get it at the right angle. Not a bad cutter. That angle, though, with that kukri style, that's going to get in there and cut. So I didn't really say it does have all the info on here. Your MX200 made in USA, Wave feature, Emerson knives. A little bit more branding that I prefer. Lucas Emerson design. I like that little logo. But they could have done away a little less. But that's pretty much on all the Emersons. What do we think about this one? Yeah. Captive pivot with that flathead, and then Phillips for all the other hardware, which is just kind of interesting, Phillips. But yeah, what do we think about this one? Ooh, zoom out, Kenman. Definitely, I like this one quite a bit as far as all the Emerson knives so far that we've looked at. The action on this is just fun and snappy. It's a cutter. Feels good in my hand. I would take it. What do we think? Thanks again to Anything Emerson Waved. Got a few more left to check out through his collection. But much appreciated for sending those knives for us to review and enjoy. This one is pretty cool. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.